Based on my group choose, that is radio, so I would like to talk about introduction of radio. Radio is signaling and communication technique that uses radio waves. Electromagnetic waves with a frequency of 30 Hz to 300 GHz are known as radio waves. So they are produced by an electrical device known as transmitter, which is attached to an antenna that radiates the waves, and they are received by another antenna attached to a radio receiver. So radio is very widely used in modern technology in communication, which is radar, radio navigation, remote control, remote sensing, and other applications. After that, let's talk about background of the radio. The radio receives electromagnetic waves from the air that are sent by a radio transmitter. Electromagnetic waves are a combinations of electrical and magnetic fields that overlap. The radio converts these electromagnetic waves, called a signal, into sounds that humans can hear. Radios are a part of everyday life. Not only are they used to play music or as alarms in the morning, they are also used in cordless phones, cell phones, baby monitors, garage door openers, toys, satellites, and radar. Radios also play an important role in communication for police, fire, industry, and the military. Although there are many types of radios, which is clock, car, amateur, stereo, all contain the same basic components. Radio come in all shapes and size, from a little AM or FM Walkman to a highly sophisticated multi-mode transceiver, where both the transmitter and receiver are combined in one unit. The most common modes for a broadcast radio are AM, that is amplitude modulations, and FM, frequency modulations. Other modes used by ham radios operators, industry, and so on. So last but not least, let's talk about overall description. The radio communications has been used over 100 years now. The uses of radio communication increasing day by day, and it's being used by a wide range of electronic sector. This technology is upgrading to give us better satisfactions. Thank you.
My name is Lida Shen, and I will continue the presentation about radio. The function of a radio is an electronic device that receives radio waves and convert the information carried by them to a usable form. So, the main purpose of the radio is to convey information from one place to another through the intervening without wires. Besides being used for transmitting sound and television signals, radio is also used for the transmission of data in coded form. Next, I will briefly talk about how radio works. Radio works by transmitting and receiving electromagnetic waves. The radio signal is an electronic current moving back and forth very quickly. A transmitter will radiate this field outward via an antenna, while a radio receiver will pick up the field and translate it into sound heard through the radio. So, what is the part inside a radio that allows it to have this function? A radio consists of many specialized electronic circuits designed to perform specific tasks, such as radio frequency amplifier, mixer, variable frequency oscillator, intermediate frequency amplifier, detector, and audio amplifier. The radio frequency amplifier is designed to amplify the signal from a radio broadcast transmitter. The mixer takes the radio signal and combines it with another signal produced by the radio variable frequency oscillator to produce an intermediate frequency. The variable frequency oscillator is the turning knob on the radio. Then, the produced intermediate frequency is amplified by the intermediate frequency amplifier and sent to the detector, which converts the radio signal to an audio signal. Last but not least, the audio amplifier will amplify the audio signal and send it to the speaker or earphone so we can hear the message clearly received from the radio. Last but not least, for the AM or FM radio, It will have all of these circuits such as the volume control, turning knob, speaker, antenna, and batteries mounted on a single circuit board. All of these parts can be mounted either on a printed circuit board or in the radio case to decrease in size and weight or for carrying purpose. Next, I will pass to Ho Chuan to continue our presentation. Thank you.
I'm Liu Ho Chuan. I will explain about the equipment required of radio. For today, radio it consists of antenna. Antenna is a small diameter insulated copper wire wrapped around a wire cord. An external antenna consists of several aluminum tubes that slide with one another. This antenna used to receive signal. Next, the printed circuit board consists of copper gland pattern ceramic to a phenolic board. The copper pattern is the wiring from component to component. It replaces most of the wiring used in an earlier radio. Resistance limit the flow of the electricity. It consists of carbon film deposited on a cylindrical substrate encased in a plastic housing with a wire nut made of copper. Capacitor store an electric charge and prevent direct current from flowing in the same circuit. Capacitor consists of two extended aluminum foil electrode insulated by polymer film, housed in a plastic or ceramic housing with copper wire nut. Integrated circuit is the main controller of the circuit. It houses thousands of resistor, capacitor, and transistor into a small, compact package called chip. The chip is mounted in a plastic case with aluminum tap. Transformer is used to insulate a circuit while transferring energy from one circuit to another. They consist of two or more sets of copper wire cord entire work on a insulator. Speaker is used to produce voice. The frame is made from stamped aluminum. The permanent magnet is a ceramic ferric material consists of iron oxide, sodium, and a ceramic binder. The core, surround, and spider are made of tractor paper coated with an adhesive glue. The voice core consists of a plastic bombing with a fine gauze insulated copper wire bonding around it. For transistor, consists of germanium or silicon encased in a metal housing with a copper wire nut. The transistor controls the flow of electricity in a circuit. Transistor replace vacuum tube used in an earlier radio. Cover of the radio is made by the plastic it used to contain all the components inside it. That's all for me. Thank you.
My name is Kyung, and today I would like to present about the hazard notation for the product that our group have chosen, the radio. Actually, radio can cause hazard to a person who don't follow the instruction in the user manual. User is not encouraged to use radio when he is operating the automobile, such as car, motorcycle, and so on. This is because radio can distract the user attention and the user does not focus in operating the automobile. For example, when a driver is using a radio when he is driving a car and he is distracted by the radio when the channel in the radio is playing his favorite song. He does not pay attention on driving the car. After that, he does not notice that there is a traffic light in front of him and he is going to run the red light accidentally. A serious accident has occurred due to he is distracted by the radio. Second hazard is hearing loss. User should not adjust the volume of the radio to high volume frequently because the hertz produced by the radio is very high in high volume, and it will harm the human's ears. A user also want to consider the another people and does not adjust the volume to high because it will produce unwanted noise to the people who is nearby. So thank you. This is my presentation.
My name is Tan Junwei. Now I want to explain about the steps to use the radio. First, we must connect the power cable to the radio and the main supply to make sure the radio has energy to function. Then, we must raise and extend the radio. We must put the radio at a high rate and extend the area as long as possible to make sure the radio can receive the maximum signal. The radio is receive the message through the signal and produce the message by the sound. Then we can turn on the radio by switch on the on-board control. When the first time the radio is switched on, it will start out in DAB mode. It will automatically scan for the available radio station, but there will a mode button to change the DAB mode to the FM mode. When you change the DAB mode to the FM mode, you also to change the frequency. They have different frequency at every station. Then, in DAB mode, the up and down control allow you to navigate between different stations. You can use the up and down control to find your favorite station, and then you can press and hold to set your favorite station as a preset. And when you turn on your radio next time, you can press the preset to listen your favorite station again. After you find your favorite station, you can control the volume by the button. That's all.
The topic of my presentation is about the speaker Oxford DAB Plus FM radio. The presentation will cover the part which is conclusion about how the Oxford DAB Plus FM radio function well. After positioning the Oxford DAB Plus FM radio inside the boxes, it will consist four of the things, which is quick start guide, guarantee booklets, main power supply leads, and Oxford DAB Plus FM radio. The Oxford DAB Plus FM radio requires a main supply of 230 watts. Oxford DAB Plus FM radio should be placed on a flat and stable surface that is not subject to vibrations. Furthermore, we should make sure that the area has been fully extended to ensure good reception in both DAB and FM radio modes. For the setup, connect the power cable to Oxford DAB Plus FM radio and main supply, raise and extend the areas. Turn the radio on by switching on the volume control upwards. That's all of my presentation. Thank you.